Welcome back to Fox 9's primary night coverage. We have an update in the 5th Congressional District, a race that is Minneapolis and some of the first ring suburbs closer than most expected.
No doubt. Former Minneapolis City Council member Don Samuels, who took on incumbent Ilhan Omar, now addressing his supporters. We believe that he actually conceded. The race was, I think, at 99% reporting in. So let's listen in just briefly while he addresses his supporters.
Now, we all agreed. We all agreed that that things were going awry in the 5th District and in democracy and in our country. We all agreed with that. And in fact, the fact that we could be 2.5 points behind an incumbent in the United States Congress says that if the playing field were even, if this was not an incumbent challenger situation, we would win this race. We would win this race. But when you get the obligatory endorsements of the Speaker of the House and other DFL leaders, and it's tough to beat. And to come this close means that we have our finger on the pulse of the exhausted majority. And as I said to the team inside, we will not be discouraged. We will not be discouraged because we were in the right. We took the temperature of our community and we were correct. And if this were the general election, we would have been walking out of here with a victory. Because we had to climb over the huge barrier of a DFL endorsement from a DFL that has lost touch with the voters. We had to climb over the second barrier of a process, a voting process, that didn't give us a chance to get the public's attention, full attention. So we know that America wants change. And we know that we were offering that change. We know that the majority of the voters in the district, if they had a chance, would have embraced that change. So we're not going to let go of the dream for that change. We're going to continue to hold it and be proud of it because we have spoken. The people have spoken. And you know, my only hope is that my opponent will have learned a lesson from this. You cannot give poor constituent service. Put your own dreams above the dreams and visions and desires of your community. Hold scant and scarce town hall meetings. Not be available to the press that serves your community. And get reelected easily. And so, I hope that a lesson has been learned. And and I hope you give all of the support we can to Ilhan Omar as she steps into the next phase of a self-improved leadership. And we will hold her to it. We're not going away. And so we will work with her and give her all the support we can. We're not going to sabotage. The message has been sent. The people have spoken. Now, the question is, the lesson must be learned. And so, thank you for traveling this road with me. I love you all. And, Annie, did I leave anything out? No. Joe, did I leave anything out?
Let's hear cheers for the Samuels fans.
Well, Don Samuels in defeat, you know, some poignant comments there. I think, and we're bringing Theo on this.
Sending some very strong messages to the DFL and Ilhan Omar.
Yeah. Without naming him, he called out the governor and our 2 Democratic senators, U.S. senators, saying, you know, sort of a half-throated support, and none from them during this race.
They stayed out of the race.
Yeah. And I thought it was also interesting that he said, he called Ilhan Omar out on some of the points that he had used in his campaign, that she wasn't present, that she didn't represent the people who and that she was more a Washington politician than a Minnesota politician.
Interesting that he did this now. There are still some precincts out left to report. He trails by about 2,800 votes. In the end, precinct after precinct in Minneapolis, where she did so strong 2 years ago, she did weaker this year, and you're just looking to see if he would be able to climb up that hill, and he just didn't quite get there. So yeah, it's going to be probably, she's going to win by about 3,000 votes. She won by 35,000 votes 2 years ago.
Right.
Big difference.
Big difference, yeah. He's a Jamaican immigrant. It's worth noting he was on the Minneapolis City Council, on school board, has been a long time activist against gun violence. So he has been such a member of this community, but also extending that olive branch tonight, saying, we will work with Omar. And in all of his criticism at the very end, saying we want to work together. And
you always, if you're in my shoes, you always listen to those speeches. Okay, does he want to run again in 2 years? I didn't get that out of him. The group of people, I would call them the Mayor Fry faction in the Minneapolis DFL, the people who don't like Ilhan Omar. They're running Don Samuel's campaign. They ran Anton Melton Meeks' campaign 2 years ago. Who are they going to find? Because in order to beat her, you have to have the right candidate, obviously the right environment, and a low turnout election like this one. And so they would need to find somebody who has a constituency, someone who's known in the community, like Don Samuels, to run again in 2 years.
And it makes it difficult in a general election when it's not a low turnout election, especially in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if she addresses her supporters and the public tonight, we will take that live as well.
And we will point out that she was not planning to do an election night event. Her last event was scheduled actually just before the polls closed. So I would be surprised, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, Theo.